At around 2h, throughout the entire car chase scene in Paris, John car hits multiple other vehicles and people. Yet, except for the missing doors and windshield, there's not a single dent anywhere on the car. At around 2h, when John is thrown into a Mercedes minivan during the Arc de Triomphe shootout, the driver is never shown leaving the minivan, but in the next shot, no one is inside. Also, the lights were on when John was thrown, but in the next camera shot, the lights were off. At around 2 hours 10 minutes, when John is fighting the tracker on his way to the duel, sunlight is streaming through the building windows in which they are fighting. Yet when he busts through a window and falls to the street, it is still completely dark out. At around 2 hours 5 minutes, when John is running around Paris the night before he meets the marquis for the duel, he enters a closed building, which just happens to have all its lights off, and its front doors unlocked. He then is seen busting open one set of double doors. The bad guys that follow him have to again bust open both sets of doors, of which at least the second interior French style doors would still be open from John's passing. At around 2 hours 10 minutes, after jumping off of the building right before the final stairs fighting scene, Wick checks his watch and reveals that it is 6:18 a.m. Seconds later, in the foot of the stairs, he checks his watch again, and it is 5:55 a.m. At around 9 minutes, when Winston and Sharon first go to meet the marquis, the camera keeps cutting from front, rear, and side shots. On the rear shots, Winston appears to be standing apart from and in front of Sharon. On the front and side shots, Winston and Sharon are standing beside one another. At around 43 minutes, when John and Kane are fighting in the Osaka Continental, there is a knife that lands near the corner of a display case. When the shot cuts to a different angle, the knife is no longer there. At around 12 minutes, in an early scene, the NYC Continental is blown up. A few scenes later, at around 57 minutes, Bowery, King, and Winston stand in front of the standing building. At around 1 hour 55 minutes, when Chitty and John Wick bump the left side back ends of their cars to each other, the right-hand taillights of John's car brakes, but in the next scene the lights are up again and no dents are present on John's car's left back end.